This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Hi, my name is Tom Cohen. I'm the co-founder and CEO at Nanopore Diagnostics. We're developing a rapid on-site platform for screening for microbial pathogens in a wide array of sample types. This could be, for instance, in looking at crop pathogen detection, trying to detect disease before symptoms show, possibly looking for diagnostics in the livestock space, or maybe post-slaughter in a slaughterhouse, or maybe in an aquaculture pond. The test will be an instrument that has different consumables focused on these different verticals that we plan to attack. It's a nucleic acid base counter. So the way the test would work is it would take a sample, it would lyse all the cells present, and in the kind of soup that remains, it binds a probe to a particular nucleic acid indicative of a species and pulls it through a sensor that then counts that probe-bound target. So it utilizes genetic sequences indicative of nasty bacteria that might be present and counts them. The way we're able to potentially attack multiple verticals within the Agtec space would be by having different consumables that would focus on the pathogens relevant to a certain application. For instance, in the food safety application, we might focus on different E. coli variants, but in crop pathogen detection, we might look at crop greening disease or different viral vectors that are important in that space. We hope we're about 2 years out from launching the product. We think, maybe about 9 months to a year away from doing some on-site actual testing. Our history primarily is in clinical science. This is actually an academic invention that we pulled out of the university, and in the academic world, and then also for the first 9 months of our existence, we kind of focused on the human clinical applications of our platform. And so we now have developed a lab prototype and validated that with some clinical samples. But before moving forward into turning our prototype into a product, we decided it makes sense to pivot to a space that has a lower barrier to entry. We know we face significant barriers in the clinical space due to the reimbursement and FDA regulatory process. And so by moving to some markets with lower barriers to entry, we have lower perceived risk and become a more fundable opportunity. I think another key point is the reason I'm here today then is just to get to know the agtech sector and try to identify opportunities for our platform. My background is exclusively in biomedical science, and so as we look to potentially pivot to the space, events like this are key just to meet the people that might one day use the product and identify their needs.
Hey, I'm Clark Victory. I grew up right here on this little ranch near Chelsea, Oklahoma. Roped and ranched all my life, and a few years ago I had an injury that created what they call a frozen shoulder in layman's terms. It got to the point that I couldn't reach, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't do anything. After speaking with the surgeon in Tulsa, he finally told me that he could make my shoulder better if he did surgery, but he absolutely couldn't fix it. I decided that, maybe I better listen to my friend John, and I called Kansas Regenerative Medical Center. I talked to Patrick Farley and was just excited about the whole aspect of going up there and having the opportunity to focus on getting better. The next morning at 8:30, went into the clinic, did the stem cell replacement. By 12:30, my wife and I had lunch and was driving back to Chelsea. I feel better. We work around here. Some days we work pretty hard around here, and like any older guy does, I get pretty sore, pretty tired, but my right shoulder doesn't get sore. It's like a baby's arm.